All right, Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise, glory, and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Racha HaKodash, double honor to the elders and apostles of the millstone who well. Peace and blessings to the 144,000, the hopeful elect. Shalom, Barakathum. And I want to just speak on the matter of a mindset that I want, brothers to think about and meditate on, and that is having the abundance mindset, all right? Now, an example of this, when you want to see an example of how things should be, oftentimes you can look at how things are in America and just turn it upside down and backwards, and that'll usually be the way. Now, who do you see walking around with the biggest abundance mindset? Okay, it's two groups of individuals that I think of when I think about this topic. And number one, it's women, especially good-looking women, and number two, it's rich men. Okay, look at the attitude that these people have. They don't have a care in the world, man. They walk around like they know that they got it. All right. Now the challenge is for brothers that are in the know, we have to walk around with that same spiritual mindset, but that same abundance mindset, but spiritually, man, because spiritually we are rich. All right. Now this is a task that's easier said than done. Why? Because you got to deal with your flesh. You got to wake up and rent, dude. You got to wake up and you got to put gas in the car, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right, but you got to walk with the faith, man. All right, that you got it. Okay, there's got to be a certain confidence, about yourself. The same way you see these women that can just walk into a bar with a negative bank account and with no worries, because they just know a man's gonna show up and buy him a drink. All right. We gotta have that same confidence in Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Why? Because the Lord has already promised everything. He said we're gonna eat. We need to eat. Okay. He said when we get in danger, the standard's gonna be lifted up. All right. And when you walk around in your day to day, man, there should be an air about you, a certain glow. Yeah, we go through things in the flesh. We have ups and our downs. We get sad. We have, better days than some days better than others. All right, but ultimately, man, this thing is going to be about, faith. That's what it's going to boil down to. People are going to ask you, well, where does your confidence come from? Where does your wisdom come from? Well, you should be able to clearly explain that comes from the scripture. Now, I'm not saying you tell that to every random stranger, because I don't just have, I don't just openly talk about the scriptures to random people or identify who I am, to random people. There's agents out here. There's people that just, they want to take some of the wisdom thing, the wise things that you have to say, and then act like they came up with it, or tell you what's better. One minute they was admiring what you were saying, and the next minute they know better. Like that bald head nigga that came up to the camp a few months ago. He talking about he came out there to learn, but then he got something to teach. Like, no, it don't work like that. All right. They, whether you realize it or not, people have a lot of admiration for what we do. They may look at us as low-level Negroes, but when they see us out there in the cold, rain, sleet, and snow, it's admirable. They know. That's why you get these horns honking at us. If you see us out there in the highways and byways, because everybody can respect it, whether you agree with us or not. They see us out there day in and day out. Now that cannot be said for every other Israelite camp. All right. So you got to remember that, man. We have something that is precious, and just because this world has ascribed a value to it of, let's say, $1, that don't mean it ain't worth $1 trillion. Okay. So you can misread. You can be wrong about where you place your investment. All right. And we know with confidence what's getting ready to happen to this place. Okay. We're gonna win on both sides, man. We're gonna bet on Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai restoring the kingdom, and we can make a bet, take out a short against America, against Babylon. All right, so you can win on the back end like Esau did in the financial crisis, man. That nigga won on both ends. That nigga shorted the market, got a bunch of money betting the market would go down, and when the market went down, he bought everything at a at a low price and got even more money. Okay. So it's all about being right and rooted in this thing. Okay, if you're rooted, if you truly believe this thing, that fruit should bear itself, man, in your behavior, in your demeanor. All right, and the way that you walk and the way that you talk. Because remember all of the scriptures that were written, all right, that where the Lord said he would take care of us. Remember all of the scriptures that were written where the Lord did take care of us, man. All right? Whether we were in a famine, where we had to fight a mighty army, okay? Whatever it was, there's plenty of examples of the Lord coming through and delivering us, man, lifting up a standard on our behalf so we would get the victory. All right? Now the scriptures speak about the end of the world, okay, that death is swallowed up in victory, man. All right, that's Isaiah the 25th chapter. It's mentioned again. I forget where it is in the New Testament. It might be Peter, okay, but death is already swallowed up, man. All right, so if you just got to worry about if the Lord is going to accept you, okay. That's the balance of it, you know. So we don't walk around. What keeps us from being prideful, the balance from a man that's full of pride and a man that's confident, is the man that's confident still has a baseline of fear and respect. Okay, that's the difference between cocky and confidence. Okay, now where does our fear lie? In hoping that the Lord is gonna accept our sacrifice. If the Lord does that, then we got every reason to be boastful and walk around with an abundance mindset, like walking around like we got it, man. All right, and you know, shrug these things off, man. You know, the scriptures say my burden is easy, my yoke is easy, and my burden is light. You know, but ultimately this ain't a hard thing to do, but you just got to get acquainted with grief, like the scripture said. The Lord was acquainted with grief, man, and that's what we got to be. We got to make grief and pain and suffering our best friend. We gotta learn how to suffer. Suffering is an art form, man. All right, it ain't something that you can just you know, it's not a science where you can just write down a formula on how to suffer. No, it's an art form, man. You got to put it in reps. The way you get good as an artist is actually doing it. Okay, it's tactile skill improvements. Okay, an artist gets good at painting by just painting. All right, there ain't no formula to it. You know, and that applies to any art. And suffering is an art. All right. So that's really all I wanted to say on that matter, man. Lord willing, you know, this is edifying. Lord willing, I could do another video later. Lord willing, and on to the next. Shalom.